Let's get high.
Hello, cadets. Welcome to another episode of the Big Monster Briefing Room. We are now into season 7, believe it or not. And because it is Halloween month, we are doing some of the Universal Monster movies. And tonight, or this particular show, because you might be watching it in the daytime, I don't know, is going to be House of Frankenstein. House of Frankenstein. So let me bring up my assistant, Havoc. Sergeant Havoc, are you there?
President accounted for, sir.
And we also have our Franken expert, Jamie Bennett, and of course our werewolf expert, Alan Hops, with us.
Hello.
And he's got a haunt going, so I know he's very busy now. We really appreciate the fact that he's come on this show.
I'm happy to be here.
He loves Lon Chaney's Wolfman. So, all right. I gotta say, I tried to use another colorization program for there it is for this timeline, and it was just terrible. So I went back and used Colorize again, and this is one of the most beautiful colorized timelines we've had. There's a little thing going on with Daniel's coat, red and blue, but other than that, it's pretty stellar. So let's go ahead and get into that timeline. This, of course, was Universal film, so it was only about an hour and 5 minutes, hour and 10 minutes long. It's not very long. There's the Universal logo at that time. 1944. And I want to add that this was kind of the movie where John Carradine's career took a jump start. I mean, he had been in some Westerns, and he had been in earlier films like Son of Frankenstein, but just bit parts. And he was given Dracula after Son of Dracula, which was Chaney. If Chaney had his way, he'd be doing all of them.
Yeah.
He was good as the monster, and he was good as the Wolfman.
Yes.
I did not like his Dracula.
I'm with you on that. Even though they did their best to really creepy up Dracula in that, not one of my favorites. So Lampini, his traveling show, his traveling wagon is coming through a town here. And it goes past the Neustadt prison for the criminally insane. Or that's the wing we're going to anyway. And a guy goes up to the door, gets a neck hold by Karloff, playing Niemann, Gustav Niemann. And he wants his chalk, damn it. He wants to do his chalk on the wall.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Now, this is are these two the only prisoners in this? It seems like they're the only ones in this here prison. I mean, is this like Arkham Asylum where all the really bad nutcases wind up in?
I think this is like the wing where they keep the really criminally insane. Yeah, they keep them away from the rest of them. I think
down in the basement there. The dungeon.
Again, we see it like a little prison break because the lightning strikes the building there and causes like a safe or something to go through the floor.
And it's interesting that it's lightning that causes it.
Yeah,
because lightning is integral to kind of kickstarting all of the Frankenstein plots, you know?
Yeah, true enough. And what we have here is J. Carrol Naish as Daniel, the Hunchback. they decided to lump all the monsters together in a kind of a mashup, and they decided a hunchback was necessary. I don't know why they didn't go with the mummy. That would have been easy to recast. But there it is. So we got a mad scientist and a hunchback. And in the next one, House of Dracula, we also have a hunchback and a mad scientist, or he becomes a mad scientist. So that was kind of the formula for these two films.
Hunchbacks are cool.
So
they're not all cool. Wasn't there a hunchback nurse in Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein?
no, that was in House of Dracula.
House of Dracula, the
Yeah.
hunchback nurse.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
She was a hunchback nurse. That is correct. And again, they're kind of stretching it. They're like, okay, what can we throw in here?
It's like
Reaching the Black Lagoon yet.
is that like Nurse Diesel in High Anxiety? I guess.
There he is. So Neiman is promised to help Daniel with his hump. Daniel is a murderer. He likes to strangle people, and he's good at it. And they get away, and they get out of the prison, and they go through the woods there, and they see Lampini's wagon is stuck in the mud. And Lampini tries to move it, and he's an old guy. He can't do it, and they help him. So he lets them come into his wagon to get dry. And there they are, and Lampini's played by Zuko, right?
George Zuko.
Not Danny Zuko, George Zuko. Who did a couple of Mummy movies and did some of his own stuff in his own right. I mean, he's not like Karloff, Bela Lugosi big, but he had his own little niche going.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, well, I have a traveling show. I have Dracula, the bones of Dracula. And I keep poking myself in the eye with my pipe. When I saw that picture, I was like, that's what it looks like. Look like he's poking his eye out.
He's even making the face.
Exactly. Oh, okay, sorry. Keep doing that. And they're like, oh, he's a live one. So Karloff actually looks, and Daniel too, they look good in beards. And of course, this is Jack Pierce. So the beards look good. They look realistic. I mean, sometimes you watch a TV show or a movie and the beard you're like, that's a fake beard.
Yeah.
But these look good.
That's a good beard on Karloff.
It is good. Yeah. Well, Pierce was top of his game here.
Yeah, I gotta admit, this was one of Karloff's nastiest characters. He's a real douche in this. Just really nasty to everybody, but especially to Daniel. And that's what it's like. He's like, we're gonna be going up to this town, and he goes, no, you're going to this town, which is the next town they go to. And he goes, no, they don't like me there. They run me out. And no, you're going, Daniel. And when Daniel hears his name, hey, I got to strangle somebody. No.
If you ever get a chance to run a prison for the criminally insane, don't put your masterminds next to your henchmen. Keep them separated.
Exactly. Who is that guy? That guy's losing his job.
Yeah.
And again, the prison was like Alcatraz. It was falling apart. One little small lightning bolt, and bam, the whole wall comes down. Karloff's wearing his Pinky Blinders cap now, and he's shaved. They both shaved.
Yep.
And Daniel's got his monkey organ grinder outfit on.
Oh, he's kind of, it's like dance monkey dance.
More
kill monkey.
The only frustrating part of this is now every time I watch this movie, and it's about once a year, his jacket will be blue in my brain.
Okay. Reigelberg is the first town. That's the one. I was asking everybody at the beginning of the show, what's the first town? I know they're this area, but what's the first town? Reigelberg. And that's where Karloff wants to go because, or I should say Niemann, because there is a Hussman there. And there he is playing chess with Lionel Atwill as the chief constable there. And he helped to put Niemann away. I think he was the judge that put Niemann away. So Neiman wants to get revenge. He wants to go there first. And then we see Anne Gwynn. Lovely Anne Gwynn is Rita Hussman, who is the daughter-in-law. And there's his son, Carl, played by Peter Coe. And Carl's got a kind of goofy, kind of silly look about him. And he's just got a sense of humor. He's making wife jokes. Likable fellow. And they decide, hey, let's go to there's a big Lampini's show is just rolled in. Wait a minute, Lampini, I think we ran him off, didn't we? Like, yeah, we want to go.
Yeah, she kind of bullies everybody to go to this show. Like, no, you're going.
If Anne Gwynn says she wants you to go somewhere, by gosh.
You follow her anywhere.
Yeah, go. By gosh. So this is classic Karloff right here. He looks great. He comes out dressed as Lampini, and he's the show host, and he's talking about the Dracula's bones and all that, and they're thoroughly unimpressed, as you can tell. And Lampini is boasted that he's got the real bones of Dracula. He got them from the castle of Dracula, which is strange because in the last movie, Dracula, played by Lon Chaney, ended up dying in a swamp. So continuity, out the window. So, and they actually made John Carradine look like the Lon Chaney Dracula with the little mustache and the white hair. And I didn't realize it until I watched it this week. I think that kind of influenced the look of Dracula in the Hammer films, because the hair is kind of the same. He doesn't have the mustache. They'd be like, let's not do the mustache. But the hair. And
if you're going by the book, he has a mustache in the book.
Mm-hmm.
So
true.
I think that's part of where that comes from. I think he looks very much like the book Dracula.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Again, he looks like the Lon Chaney Dracula. So I guess they wanted him to look similar, so you wouldn't go, oh, that's kind of peculiar that he looks completely different again.
and
He doesn't
Karloff,
look like a football player anymore.
yeah, big, yeah, and Karloff here looks like Doctor Who.
And the Hussman and the constable, played by Lionel Atwill, they're giving him a hard time. They're saying, you know what, maybe you should pack up and head out of town again. And he's not happy. And of course, just seeing Hussman, he wants to throttle him, but he can't do it in front of all these people. In that picture right there, Boris looked like he was regretting his life choices big time. Now in this picture that's coming up, this guy photobombs. Look at the guy in the middle there. That's an extra getting his 15 seconds of fame right there. I've got a white headband, by gosh, you're going to see me. He looks very familiar. He does, and I can't put my finger on it, but he looks like somebody that plays like gangsters or something in those movies back then. Watching the like that scene, like I think he's in the background of that scene. Are you talking about Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman? The song? Yeah. Yes. Oh, it's not the singer, is it? I don't know. La, 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 la. Yeah, I don't know. But they use a lot of these guys over and over again. Yeah. he might have been around. They said, "Hey, why don't you come? We'll put you in a scene." So Neiman, being the insane, crazy person he is, takes the stake out of Dracula's heart and turns to see the corpse starting to reanimate, starting to come back to life. And interesting, I'm not sure if it's animation or if it's something that maybe... I think it's all rotoscoped. Jack Pierce might have come up with. I think it's all rotoscoped, where they erased on the film all these little veins. Okay. All right. They probably did that for the Invisible Man at the end when he comes back, when he, becomes visible again. All right, makes sense. So the veins are on the outside of his clothes.
Yeah,
we got some lovely acting there.
Muscles, yeah.
Of John Carradine coming to life, and he's back, and he tries his Jedi mind trick on Karloff, but it won't work. He says, "You want me to put this stake back in your heart? Okay, I'm your servant. I'll do what you say. I'll do what you ask." And he tells me he wants revenge on Hussman. Now, Dracula somehow gets a carriage and a carriage driver. I'm not sure how.
He's Dracula.
And later, that's right, because I'm Dracula. Maybe it's one of his sons, Keith Carradine. Oh no, he probably was like 2 or 3 at the time. Anyway, so yeah, he has a coach now, and he picks up the Hussman family, and they're like, "Yeah, why don't you come to the house for a drink?" "Yeah, I love to drink." "Yeah, okay." And he starts working his mojo on Anne Gwen, who wouldn't? On Rita Hussman. And you can see she's starting to come under his spell. And they have a little drinky poo. And she notices his ring, which he wants her to notice it. He's holding it up. Yeah, take a look. Yeah, got the pinky out of the way. And he's like, "You want to try it on? It's my magic ring." And it's hypnotic. And he puts it on her finger, and it supposedly, she describes it actually clamping onto her finger. It actually gets to the size of her finger. So it's stuck there now. He goes, "Well, you can keep it for a while. I'll see you soon."
It sounded like the Sesame Street count.
One ring on your finger. So now she's stuck with it. Now they're stuck with him. But Hussman is like, "I'm tired. I'm drunk. I want to go to bed." That's what he looks like there. Dracula's how rude. So young Karl Hussman ushers him out. "Yeah, don't let the door hit you in the ass. I see you making eyes at my wife." So there he goes. Now Hussman is like, "I know I've seen that face somewhere," meaning Karloff, Niemann, but he doesn't realize it's Niemann because he sent him away, and he sends a lot of people away, I'm guessing. So he's thinking, "Where have I seen this Lampini before? It's not Lampini that I know." And then he realizes it's Niemann, and right as he realizes it, Dracula's at the window. Lovely shot of Dracula doing his thing, trying to hypnotize.
It's just not. It's almost. It's a little silly looking.
And he does it again in the 60s.
Big eyes.
When he's Dracula against Jesse James or Billy the Kid. I can't remember which one.
Billy the Kid, I think.
I think it's Billy the Kid.
Yeah.
He does the same kind of thing, except he's 30 years older. And this is where we get the shadow play on the wall. Very Nosferatu. He turns into a bat in the shadow, and then the bat flies over to Hussman, who's stuck in his chair, can't get up, and the bat starts sucking on his. It's actually very creepy, and yet you don't see any of the blood. Now we're going to talk a lot about blood later when the Wolfman attacks his girlfriend. Anyway. Or the lack thereof, I should say. So Rita is like, "Why don't you go downstairs and check on Father? I have a headache." Something like that. And he's like, "Oh, okay." Because it's Anne Gwen. And he goes down, and sure enough, oh my God, he's been bitten by a vampire. So he does what anybody would do at that time of the night. He calls the constable, who's already in his pajamas. Baby blue pajamas, I might add. Well, I'm in my pajamas, but I'll be over there soon. I sound like Dr. Bombay. Lionel Atwill used to have these incredible parties at his house, by the way. They wrote about it in books. But he was a real party animal. It's kind of like when you hear, how much of a coke hound Rodney Dangerfield was when he was at the top of his career. It's like, really? Him?
I can see that.
Yeah, that surprises you in some way.
What?
Rodney Dangerfield?
I can see that.
Totally. If you said he didn't do cocaine, I would be shocked.
He was evidently a real coke hound. I mean, put young guys to shame.
Oh wow. I can see that.
We need to do another line over here. We need to do another line. Hey, get the good stuff.
That popped into my head because I was talking to somebody this week about that. Somebody had told me that. And I thought it was just kind of peculiar. So anyway, now that Rita has gotten young Husband out of the way, she can go down to Dracula, who's waiting for her, and he puts her in the carriage. And there's no carriage driver now. Dracula's driving the carriage. Not sure why they made that decision, but there it is.
The economy hits everybody, dude. You gotta let him go.
You gotta wonder. This one must have been on a budget. Because, there's all kinds of stuff happening like that in this film.
Well, it's like I was telling Jamie before the show, what happened to the guard at the beginning of the movie? He he gets choked up or choked out, then he leaves. Then the whole lightning strike happens, and you never see him again.
No, he didn't come back.
Never checks on the prisoners. Like, they could have had a little scene with him running in, like, oh my God, Newman's escaped. But nope.
I blame it on the director. I want to say George Wagner is the guy that directed this one, but I might be wrong about that. But yeah, he made a lot of decisions that we're going to talk about later on. It was like, wait a minute. I felt really sorry for Jack Pierce in this film. Now, it was Jack Pierce who actually discovered Glenn Strange. He was eating in the commissary, and he saw his face, and he was like, he went over to him. He said, "Hey, I want to do a test. I'll pay you for it. I want to do a makeup test on you." And he put the Frankenstein monster makeup on him, and it looked great on those craggy, thin cheeks. So, and he was tall. He was like 7 foot tall. So he was doing like westerns and playing heavies in movies at the time. So yeah, it made him a household name with monster fans because Jack Pierce saw him and said, "You know what? I think he might like my good Frankenstein." Yeah. So anyway, Carl and meets up with the head constable and a couple of his men. They're on horseback, and they go after Dracula's carriage. And Niemann sees all of this somehow, and he tells Daniel, "Go back and get rid of the coffin." We get a nice little stunt where Daniel, Hunchback is, walking on top of the carriage there, the caboose, and gets back, and he shoves the coffin out the back door. There we go. And Dracula's seeing this, and he's like, "Wait a minute, what's he doing? My coffin, my bed."
So at some point, we need to invest in a hump tracker, because so far I've seen Daniel in about 9 different shots, and his hump has slightly moved towards the center of his back.
What hump?
And in the first shot, it's all the way over here on his shoulder this way, and it's slowly migrating. We need a hump tracker is what we need.
So this is a really bad morning for Dracula because the carriage comes loose from the horses as well. He's just seen them throw his bed out into and the sun's coming up. It's almost sunrise. So the carriage is out of control now. So Dracula hops off of it because he's Dracula. He can. Meanwhile, poor Rita inside. Oh, this ring. Uh, and if you look at Dracula here, there's some really nice available light on him. The sun's already, it looks like it's already come up. It's full-fledged sunrise.
Till he had a bad day, he lost half his mustache.
True.
His hair looks a little dust. So he sees his coffin, he goes to it, and of course, he rounds the mountain there and sees the sunrise, holds up his hand, falls over. I gotta get in my coffin. And of course, he expires there. And they come in on the horseback. Carl, being the great husband he is, goes right to the carriage and pulls his wife out. Well, the other two guys are like, what do we do now?
And
she's okay.
Not a scratch on her.
He just rolled down a mountain.
Exactly.
You know, it's like when alcoholics get into a wreck and they don't get injured because they're just like numb to everything anyway. So they're like loose.
Oh, yeah.
So she's hypnotized by Dracula, so she don't feel anything. And she's just, she's like, boneless chicken. So the guys go up to Dracula's coffin and they see his hand sticking over there, and of course it turns into a bone.
Not dust.
Not yet. We leave the scene before that happens, supposedly. And the ring falls off of her finger. She's free. She's free.
I got better.
And they're a happy couple. Look at that. You can tell they're happy with that man.
Yep. And that's the last we see of them.
That's it. They're done. The Dracula segment is over. Somebody's got somebody at the front door.
I do. I'm afraid.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have figured. You're busy. So the Lampini circus wagon is on its move again. It's on its way to Frankenstein, the town of Frankenstein. You would think they would change the name of the town by now. Well, the trouble that they've had with Frankenstein. So they're close. And there's some gypsies outside of Frankenstein. And Daniel is, again, with Hunchback, you got to have an Esmeralda of some kind. Her name is Ilona in this. And Havoc, you were talking about the actress, Miss Verdugo.
Yeah, Elena Verdugo.
Before the show. Verdugo.
Yeah. Well,
Elena.
I kept thinking, I know that name. Why didn't I know that name? Well, it turns out that she was the secretary on the show Marcus Welby, MD, with a young James Brolin and an old Robert Young, and she was their assistant.
Well, she is no secretary in this scene. I can tell you that right now.
No.
And Daniel is enchanted.
Like, hubba.
She's got the moves. So naturally, people are throwing money at her. And Boris Karloff is like, Daniel, focus, Daniel. We've got Frankenstein's castle up there. We have to stop making our way up to the castle. And then the police show up and ruin everything.
Yeah.
What are you gypsies doing here? What's all this then?
Popo got to ruin everything.
Now that gypsy there, his name is Fajos. He's played by William Edmonds. He's one of the regular players. He does a lot of stuff in these Universal pictures. Plays a lot of bit characters. So they bust on him. They say, "Hey, you got to move these. We don't want you gypsies around here." And Karloff's like, "Hey, we're just passing through with our show. Get out of here, old man." They're just terrible. And stay away from that castle up there. We've had enough trouble. And then we find out that she has been holding out, Ilanka has been holding out on Fajos. So he starts to whip her. Because that's what pimps do. Even gypsy pimps. And Daniel jumps to the rescue. Now, she doesn't actually see him in this scene, and she's already passed out, I guess, by this time. So she doesn't know Daniel, who he is and what he looks like. And of course, Karloff's like, oh, geez, here we go again. Daniel! Way to blend in. Nice. He's all over Daniel in this thing. It's funny. He just really abuses him. So he's like, oh, master, can we keep her? Like she's a little puppy.
Exactly.
She's hurt, master. Somehow I got a feeling they wanted Peter Lorre for this part, but he was doing something else, maybe Mr. Moto or something.
Yeah.
He was seeing creepy some other place.
Again, maybe another studio. But J. Carrol Naish is very Peter Lorre in this.
Yeah.
So we have this scene where she wakes up and she's in the rolling carriage and they're taking her to up the mountain, and then Daniel steps up into the carriage and she sees he's a hunchback and she reacts, and he's like, oh god, damn hump. And it's moving again. It's moving from picture to picture right here. You can see.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, I'm sorry, Daniel. I didn't mean to be like that. You're a nice man. You saved me.
She's very nice.
She is, for a gypsy. But then again, maybe that's the way she wants you to think. So anyway, Daniel hopes that she'll give him some attention. If he's driving the carriage or something, she'll, ride with him. But look at that face. Look at that poor little boy face. He's a psychotic. Don't feel sorry for him. Okay. He's a psychotic madman who strangles people at the snap of a finger. And Boris, and speaking of snapping of the finger, let's go into the castle now, Daniel. Come on, we must go in and find Frankenstein's books. Frankenstein's got a lot of books because the name changes a lot. It was The Secret of Life and Death in one movie. Now it's Experiments in Life and Death in this one. So anyway, they go into the castle. It's a shambles, as you would expect, because a river ran through it. And Daniel falls through like a little crevice or thing and down into an ice cavern that's below.
He was helping. He was helping.
So Boris Karloff's like, you idiot, watch where I'm going. Oh, look. It's an ice cavern. How nice. And then they find the Wolfman. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but does it look like he's got the Wolfman claws, but they didn't put his head on? His face?
It does look like he has the hands, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But it looks like a regular face. It doesn't look like he's a hairy face, does it? To me.
Right.
That's my take. That's my take on it. Anyway.
Maybe he is frozen mid-transformation.
Mid-transformation.
There you go. Yeah.
Or maybe they just were like, yeah, put the hands on, it'll be fine. Again, cutting corners. And then they find the Frankenstein monster. Now, Strange was a kind of a stunt actor. He did a lot of his own stunts. So I am guessing that's really Strange that's behind that plexiglass that's sprayed to look like ice. I'm guessing that it's him in there. But when it was Bela Lugosi in the last movie, it was actually Gil Perkins who was in the ice when they pulled him out. And Charlie Parker did a lot of his scenes in the end of the movie because Lugosi, the costume was too heavy for him. He could only do close-ups, and he actually passed out on set. But he got a real raw deal on that because he had a lot of dialogue and they cut it all out. The monster's supposed to talk in that one.
And Frankenstein, he walks around like this because in the script he's blind, but they never say that in the movie.
Because he's the one that says that.
Yeah.
And they had to cut those lines out. So anyway, Daniel, let's light these boys up. He says, let's start some fires. And we see the Wolfman melt out of his ice tomb. And then he turns back. Because you see he's hairy there. But then he turns. And he becomes Lon Chaney. Lawrence Talbot.
So maybe he was reverting back to human because he thought he was dying with the water, right? And then it froze. And then as it was melting, he felt threatened and automatically changed.
Okay. If that's your story, stick with it.
That's possible.
Okay, so
Makes as much sense as anything else in this movie.
yeah, there you go. So Universal loves you for that. So Talbot comes out. He's like, why did you get me out of my ice tomb? I was perfectly safe there. I turned into a wolf. He was doing his whole spiel. And Karloff, Neiman is like, oh, well, we can help you, my boy. Don't worry, I'm a wonderful scientist, and if I can get Frankenstein's notes, I'll try my best to cure you of your werewolfism, whatever. I'm paraphrasing. But look how gentle and nice and kind he looks. But we know already what he's really like.
Mm-hmm.
So Talbot falls for it. He's very naive. He's a very naive wolfman.
He is.
So he takes him. And again, Talbot somehow knows where Frankenstein's hiding his diaries. Even though it wasn't him that had them at the end of the last film, he knows where they are. So he goes and he finds him. He gives them to Neiman, gives them right over to Neiman. And of course, the title's changed. It's Experiments with Life and Death now. Henry Frankenstein.
So like in Young Frankenstein, How I Did It.
I think maybe Frankenstein had several books that he wrote. Yeah, and he stashed them in different places. So this is this one. Talbot, of course, is very interested in being cured. And he wants Neiman to work on him soon because he doesn't want the full moon to turn him into a werewolf again. And he's kind of whining about it. So he's pissing Neiman off. So Neiman is like, you drive the carriage. We'll be there soon. We're going to Vesalius. And so he's driving the carriage, and Daniel now is in charge of the wet compresses for the monster. And this is when Ilanka tickles his foot, and then goes up top and finds out it's not Daniel. It's, hey, big boy. It's a non-hunchback, very handsome man who's brooding and dark. She likes the bad boys, you can tell.
Is he very handsome?
Well, compared to
That's a hard
Daniel,
sell. That's a hard sell, I think.
Compared to Daniel,
He doesn't have a hunchback.
he's an Adonis. He's an Adonis, I tell you.
it's that dark brooding. It's because he's all like mysterious and brooding, and it's
There you go.
like Bruce Wayne.
He's in. Bruce Wayne's a handsome man, and he's Batman. So he's got a secret he's not telling her, and they're getting closer to this area, and they're outside, and Daniel goes out to get some hot water to make some compresses for the monster because his skin tissue is deteriorating, and he sees her with Talbot.
Real quick, how far away was Visaria in the last image? Was it 119 miles away?
Something like that.
Okay. They're not making good
It's kilometers now.
kilometers. They're not making good time.
They're in a wagon.
Yeah.
And it's not like, they're on Dracula's carriage, yeah. It's just it's just one of those little slow carriages to China thing, to Visaria. So anyway, she keeps working on Talbot to get him to smile and get him to talk to her, and Daniel sees that, and it's working. He's starting to melt a little bit. He's starting to laugh a little bit, and Daniel is not happy about that. He's like, "Well, there goes my chances. Gah! Maybe it's the monkey suit. Gah!" Daniel, where's those hot compresses? Maybe it's him. So yeah, the poor guy. He's a murderer. Kills people. Don't feel bad for him. So yeah, here comes Neiman. Daniel, where are you? can I please drive the carriage a little bit? No, I don't want to talk to Talbot. He's driving me insane. He says something like that. He really does. I'm making a joke, but he really is that mean. He's really that nasty. So we finally get to Visaria, and we get to Nimon's house. And I think it's funny that, they put a big sign out front saying it's forbidden or it's closed or off, no trespassing or, shut down by police. But it's so easy to get into these places. They got into the Frankenstein castle real easy, I would have been putting barbed wire around that shit. And here, they just go right in. Oh, look, I've got the key. It's right under this pot here. They go in, and the place is, understandably dusty. But all the equipment is there. And and he ordered it from the same catalog that Dr. Frankenstein ordered his stuff from. Because it all looks the same. He went to that Wells Fargo Franken catalog and got the same stuff.
Or Acme.
Acme. I'm almost out of peach tea. Anyway, so Daniel, like a stupid kid, wanting to get attention, shows the monster to Ilanka. And of course, she goes right into, Talbot's arms. Oh, not a good move. Damn it.
Just from the photo there, it really looks like he's laying down in bed and having her check him out.
Go back.
Look back at that image.
Go back.
Oh, yeah.
What you see?
He's not having it. This always happens in the morning. Yeah, no good.
He's got a hunch wiener? It's crooked.
I was trying to think, what was that line from Young Frankenstein? He would have it enormous.
Schwarzer. And in the dub version, it's personality. When they redubbed it for TV.
For TV, yeah.
Well, that would go without saying. So now we have a little montage where we clean up. It's a cleanup montage where they clean up the lab. And by gosh, they don't have to order anything new. Like they did in Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman. They had to order stuff. The big crates of stuff are coming into town. That was the first red flag to the people in Visaria or Frankenstein. Yeah, Frankenstein. Wait a minute. Didn't that film end in Visaria? No, it was Ghost of Frankenstein. Ghost of Frankenstein was in Visaria. Okay. So anyway, maybe Niemann stole Frankenstein's equipment from the burned out mansion. Maybe. Okay. There's a way to explain that way.
Yep. There you go.
So Talbot shows up, and of course he's whining. It's going to be a full moon again, and I'm going to turn into... He's starting on him. Yes, I'll get to you as soon as I'm done here. Don't worry, it's going to be soon. But when? The moon is coming up tonight. I turn into a wolf. Yes, you told me. You've told all of us. So he goes off frustrated. Daniel is like, you said you were going to work on my bag, too. Karloff's like, do I have to smack each and every one of you? He's like, Daniel, we got business to take care of tonight. So they go into town. Okay, let me find these Strauss and Hoffman. They go into town to find Strauss and Hoffman, two people that fingered Niemann and got him put into jail. And they got a little shtick worked out where, he runs one way and Daniel's waiting for him, and they club him and put him in the back of the cart. So there's Strauss and Hoffman. And he tells them that he's going to put the brain of the Wolfman and the Frankenstein monster into their heads. And they're terrified. And then we never see them again in this movie. They're somewhere in that castle. Thank God the castle didn't burn down at the end of the film. Although the swamp behind the castle did. And we're going to talk about that in a lot anyway, because swamps don't burn.
I hate it when my swamp catches on fire. I was about to say.
It's like swamps don't burn, but this one goes up like a candle, a Roman candle. So okay, they start up the equipment. Daniel's like, "Hey, we need to feed it back to back." Or actually, he says he wants his brain to go into the body of Talbot.
Right.
That's what he wants because
Yeah.
he wants Blanca.
He wants a nice body.
Yeah. So don't fix this one. Just put me, because I'm short. Put me. I'm not just hunched over. I'm short. Put me into Talbot's body. He's tall. He's 6'4". So maybe taller. So she's looking at the monster going, God, how did I get myself into this mess? And Daniel comes up and he's talking to her and she's kind of snarky going, hey, you're jealous, aren't you? And he's like, oh, yeah? Yeah, well, your boyfriend's a werewolf. Okay, babe? And she's like, I don't believe you. I hate you, Daniel. I hate you. But deep down inside, she knows it is true. So Daniel does makes the fatal mistake that every hunchback assistant does in these movies, and that is he beats the Frankenstein monster.
Mm-hmm.
He just whips the crap out of him. If it wasn't for you, I get the brain of Talbot and you. There we go. Nice couple of shots of Strange getting his chest whipped. So this is, and this came to me when I was watching it this week too. His fear of fire, Frankenstein's fear of fire, Frankenstein's monster's fear of fire, comes from Fritz in the first movie, who was always thrusting torches at him and burning him.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So that's where that fear of fire comes from. Fire bad. So again, it never even dawned on me that it was back then, at the very beginning, that started, that happened there. You would think, the fire in the windmill burning them up would do it, but no, it was like even before that was Fritz. Fritz was the one.
Did his thumb catch on fire when he was smoking with the blind man in the cottage?
No, that was Young Frankenstein.
Young Frankenstein, right?
Woo!
Yeah.
And that's when he leaves.
But I was going to make espresso.
Gene Hackman. Hackman actually went to Mel Brooks and said he wanted to do a part in the movie. He said, I want to do comedy, and I want to do a part in the movie. And that's how it started. And Mel Brooks gave him the part of the blind man. And he was wonderful.
Yeah.
So the moon's coming up over the bushes in the horizon, and Talbot's like, oh, God, here we go again. And he turns into Wolfman. And he goes off, and the townsfolk are talking about how these people are disappearing. Hey, we've lost Strauss, we've lost Hoffman, Ullman. Ullman is there in the scene somewhere. Anyway, and then somebody comes in and goes, there's a dead person. His jugular vein's been ripped out because the Wolfman, jugular vein. They always have that scene. Well, his jugular vein's been ripped clean through. Well, now a werewolf can do that. A wolfman. I think Neiman actually calls him the Wolfman in this too. He doesn't say werewolf. He says the Wolfman.
Right. Yeah.
I'm going to give you the brain of the Wolfman, I think he says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought it was kind of strange because, he says the Wolfman. Not any generic werewolf that's out there. It's the Wolfman. I'm going to give you that brain.
I think there's regional wolfmen, like, each area might have their own wolfman. So I think that would be an appropriate colloquialism.
Some people would say Daniel's kind of a wolfman. You and 500 other guys. I have this picture here of these two guys because they are the heroes of the movie. If it wasn't for these two guys, everybody would have survived the end of this movie. They were the ones that saw the lights going on and off in Neiman's place and said, should we call the electric company? Let's get the constables and everybody. So they're the heroes of the film. Now, again, it's not a happy ending. Everybody dies. This is the very touching scene where Ilanka goes to him and goes, I know you're a werewolf. Even a man who's pure of heart says his prayers by night. She lets it know she knows. And he's like, oh, wow, that's a load off. No, he doesn't say that. He's like, I don't know what to do. I like you, and I really do, but I do. That's the next shot. The next shot, he's like, I don't know what to do. She goes, I know what to do, darling. And now. I don't think this is who was the writer of The Wolfman? Kurt Siodmak, right?
Yep.
Was the writer.
Yep.
Mhm.
They keep adding new shit to lore here. I mean, now you have to be shot with a silver bullet in the heart by somebody who loves you. Where the hell did that come from? That's what she says as a gypsy. She goes, you have to be shot in the heart. I'm doing Latin accent, God. With a silver bullet through the heart by someone you love. And
So is this where
that's
that
me,
began? Because they've been using that for the rest of the Wolfman movies.
Well,
you know,
it's of course his father kills him with a silver cane.
yeah.
So you could say that's someone who loved you. Way back in lore, before silver was ever a thing, because silver bullets were invented by Kurt Siodmak.
Yeah.
The poem was invented by Kurt Siodmak.
Yeah.
But way back, it was whoever you would attack who you love, because werewolves aren't cursed. They consider it a blessing. Wolfmen are cursed, and they're more inclined to kill people they know and love.
Okay.
That's who they want to hunt. So,
Okay.
and you become a werewolf by making a bargain with the dark man in the forest. Normally, like to get away from pursuers because you're a criminal, probably, and you kind of make a deal with the devil. You get a werewolf skin to wear, whatever. But then that's a choice. And once you make the choice, you can't get out of it. But the wolfman can be cursed, and there's a number of ways that you can get the curse. But it's always had a connection to people who love you. Back in a story in ancient Greece about a werewolf attacking a carriage, his betrothed flicked him with her apron, and that killed him because she was willing to attack him.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then she made me feta cheese.
I didn't make it up. Yeah.
That's it. You had feta cheese and olives in that thing, and it whipped it around and blocked it. So yeah, she's like, I'm gonna put a silver. I'm making a silver bullet, baby. She's ready. I'm going to get this curse away from you. I'm going to kill you, baby, because I love you. So why is my head behind our time thing, by the way? The whole show.
Oh.
I got to creep down here just so you can see me. So Daniel changed the position. So they light up the monster. They decided to make him strong again. Now I'm going to talk about the elephant in the room here. If that doesn't look like a fake dummy to you, with his feet pointing both to the left, the next slide's a close-up. It makes it very obvious. That's not Glenn Strange. That's a dummy. Saving money. Saving money.
Yeah.
State of the art.
Doesn't have to go through 4 hours of makeup. Get Jack Pierce. Make a dummy. So Talbot comes in. He is totally pissed because he's turned into the Wolfman, and it's going to be a full moon again very soon. And actually kind of throttles Neiman, but then gives up and just walks away. And this is where the lights on the outside of the house, it shows these two schmoes, hey, there's power. They have power. He's been in jail for like 10 years, hasn't he? But they got power.
Can you go back to that slide?
Sure.
I swear it looks like an AC unit hanging off the side of the castle over there.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
it does.
it does.
It's a balcony, but it looks like an apartment AC unit.
Oh funny. Yeah.
Like a trailer park unit. that would be so Neiman. It really would. So Strange looking good on the slab in this shot, much better than the dummy. And again, same equipment that they usually rent for these movies, which they actually rented to Young Frankenstein. The guy still had the stuff in his garage.
Interesting.
I love this shot because he's like, "Thank you for giving me power juice, Daddy." It's a nice shot. It's a lovable shot. I think I'm going to get a T-shirt with that shot, and underneath it'll say something strange.
Can you imagine all of these stories just from Frankenstein's viewpoint? He wakes up. You know what I mean? He's only awake for these very short periods of time. What
Yes. How the hell did I
crappy, what a crappy life and viewpoint he has.
get? That's why he kills people.
Yeah, all right,
And now Daniel pops up and goes, "Oh, would you like some love from me?" No. he says he hates him. You can see he wants to kill him. If I can get out of here and you whip me, I'm gonna break these bonds. You better watch out, buddy.
Now
And that's why he looks like Herman Munster. That's the shot.
Yep. He does. Lily.
So I can see the influence there in the TV show later. Now Karloff is like, I don't know why he's so upset. Wait, Daniel, do you know why he's so upset? No, I've got no idea.
No.
The monster's like, "You son of a bitch, I'll get out of here if I get loose from this table." So now the whole town is there, and they're like, "Yeah, he's got an AC unit. He's running it illegally. Storm the castle." So they're the heroes. And she said, "Baby, do you want to come out and talk to me?" "No, leave me alone. I'm not hungry. The moon's coming up. I got something for you, baby." She goes, "You don't come out. I'm going to go by your window outside. I'm crazy like that." And then the moon comes up. She's outside by the window. Sure enough.
When you're talking that way, all I see is Ricky Ricardo in that outfit that she's in.
You got some explaining to do. It is a wolf man. And then we get the transformation that we've been waiting for this movie. The earlier transformation, they just show his feet. So Jack Pierce, you gotta understand how sucky it's gotta be for them to call Jack Pierce and go, "Look, we want you on set. You gotta do Chaney's feet."
Well, and this one was kind of remarkable because he's upright. He's sitting upright. You know, there's one where he's laying down. His head's by a log, so his head is very much blocked off, and they can do it a piece at a time that way. But keeping him still for this one had to be very difficult. But they were getting faster with the application.
I've got the answer to that question because I read somewhere, I can't remember what it was, but they had actually made like a cutout piece of plywood that they leaned him against so that he would stay in line.
Yeah.
And had Pierce work on him. So yeah, he's leaning against a piece of plywood that's kind of cut out to his body shape.
Wow.
For this scene. So, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. Usually they'll put him in a place where they can kind of pin him down. So, he was up against a tree in Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman. He was in a bed with his head on a pillow in that one for those two transformations. Yeah, we get two really good transformation scenes in that movie. But in this one, this is the only transformation you get. So he crashes through the window right next to her and goes on out. And, you know, you would think he's a werewolf. He'd smell her and go, "Hey, what are you doing there?" But he actually goes out to the hedge there and it looks like he's gone off to go get food somewhere. And she goes out to the hedge, and it's dance time. Let me dip you, baby. He looks like he's got the moves. So yeah, he's going for the jugular. Now, she is wearing a white blouse, and Daniel is like knocking on her door. Are you okay? Are we okay? Everything okay, right? No. And then here's a gunshot. Bam. Now, she's supposed to shoot him in the heart.
It's a low heart.
It looks like she got him in the gut. And that's important because he comes back next movie and it's not explained. So that's why she didn't shoot him in the heart. She shot him in the gut. She had bad aim. Now, because she shot him, he probably didn't sever the jugular vein completely. That's a great shot there. So again, there should be blood squirting out of her neck. It should be all over that damn blouse, but no.
It's 1944. They weren't allowed to get that gory.
It was black and white. Bosco, damn it. So she looks down and she's like, oh, baby, you did not wear your shoes. You're going to catch your dad a cold. And again, call him, have him come on set. We got to make up Cheney's feet again. The transformation's done through the feet. And she has just enough time before she expires to lay herself over his body. And look at Cheney there. He looks happy. He is blissful. He looks very happy. Daniel, on the other hand, is like, oh, not again. And he carries her inside. Can you do something for her, master? She was the only thing I ever lusted after. Yeah, okay, that. So they're doing a shadow play again for the death or the strangulation of Neiman and the monster's reaction. And he reacts very bigly, largely. And that shot is important because it means that Neiman slipped out of his grip. And that's how Neiman did not die at the hands of Daniel, because he survives the end of the movie until the end of the movie. But Daniel's very good at killing people, strangling people. So it didn't make sense. But then I saw that and I was like, oh no, they must have slipped out of his grip. That's what it is.
He was interrupted.
So the monster breaks free from his bonds. He goes over, grabs Daniel, lifts him up. Daniel puppet. And chucks him out the window. Now,
I think yeet is the proper term.
What's that?
He gets yeeted out the window.
Yeeted.
Yeeted. Yep. Yeet. He yeeted him.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
He did. Yep.
Well, he does that in Abbott and Costello's Frankenstein too. He picks up Lenore and throws her out the window as well. But he actually twisted his ankle in that film. Cheney had to come in and cover for him for a day or two because he twisted his ankle. Those boots, big, heavy, deep sea diving boots. So the villagers are like, hey, look, there's a hunchback falling off the roof.
4 more weeks of winter.
Are hunchbacks just falling out of the sky?
So they storm the castle. And again, these monsters all have the dance moves. He's like, can I dip you now? Are you going to buy me dinner? And the villagers come in and ruin everything. And now he's holding them like a parent that doesn't know how to hold their baby. It's like, you're going to drop him. You're going to drop him. And of course, we get the flame in the face. Fire bad. Oh. Strange did not make any sounds as the monster in this movie or House of Dracula. It wasn't until Abbott and Costello's Dracula that he actually talked. He said, yes, master. So that's kind of peculiar because all the other actors that played the monster did grunt. They did, they did their own grunt.
I miss Boris's motorboat noises.
So he goes out of the castle, and there's, Neiman, when he was buying property, he wanted to have a swamp in the backyard, I'm guessing. So he goes right out to the swamp. Nemon's telling him, no, don't go into the swamp, the quicksand. Look at that swamp go up like kindling. They did not take good care of their swamp because it
Methane
went up.
gas?
Well, I thought it was the grass around that.
Mm. Well, and watch what happens here real quick. It goes up real big, real high flames. The monster's freaking out. He's backing into the quicksand. Not happy about how tall the flames are. Hey, Glenn Strange, you're going to get to play the Frankenstein monster, and we're going to put you near fire. A lot of it. Oh, great. So he goes into the quicksand, and of course, Neiman is like, your boots. We're going to the bottom. Your boots. That's their big, heavy boots. And look at the next shot of the villagers now. Where's the fire?
It's back there. I guess.
The giant raging fire that was wall high. Well, they got their torches. You could see the fire in their torches, but evidently the ground just, because it's a swamp.
It's a swamp. Yeah.
Swamps don't burn. Swamps don't burn. Not for long, anyway. They go down. They go down into the quicksand. And you gotta give Karloff props for, being his age and going under the quicksand. He did that himself. The end.
And everybody
So that's
died.
it. House of Frankenstein. Again, some plot holes that trucks could drive through, and some continuity gaps. This colorization program does not like end credits. It always kind of makes them wonky.
It's a very fun movie, and I love anytime they mash up all the monsters together.
Yes. Yeah, you can look past the gaffes. I mean, we make fun here, because that's what we do. But it is a fun movie to watch. It's funner, much more fun than House of Dracula to me.
Yeah.
Probably because it's got Karloff and J. Carrol Naish. He's great in it. And again, he gets to play Dr. Frankenstein in 1971. It was one of his last movies. He had cancer in Dracula versus Frankenstein. So, but this is fun. It is a fun movie. It is a fun movie to watch. It's no Frankenstein meets the Wolfman, but it's a fun movie to watch. And again, Strange looks good as the monster.
Yeah.
He does.
He's convincing.
I will go further than that and say I think he looks better in Abbott Costello's Frankenstein in that makeup by was it the Berman? No. Who did the Westmore, right?
Westmore.
Bud Westmore makeup.
Westmore came in after.
Yeah. I think Chaney's werewolf doesn't look as good in that, but the Frankenstein monster's makeup looks really, really good in that. And Dracula, Lugosi, who was like 67 at the time, looked fantastic as Dracula in that. He looks better as Dracula in that than he did in the first movie, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
He looks more like a vampire.
Yeah.
He doesn't look so normal. So there it is. All right. Thank you guys for joining us. Next week we're doing House of Dracula. If you want to join us, you're more than welcome. We'll send you the link. And we want you, the audience, to join us and watch that as well. I think the last week in the month we're going to do The Creature Walks Among Us. So next Tuesday, Roland Pruitt's Kaiju Review, they're going to do Godzilla versus Destroyer. So that'll be an interesting one. And George Morgan will be joining us from Japan for that.
Oh, wow.
So that should be a lot of fun.
Tell George I said hello.
Have a great Halloween month.
Thank you. You too.
Busy.
This here's Master Sergeant Havoc. Thank you for watching this episode of the Big Monster Briefing Room. Now, why don't you go ahead and give us a like and subscribe to our channel and ring that notification bell next time a big old giant monster comes calling. See y'all later.